anasta, although not lost, nastavat, as lost, mrusha, falsely, nasta ahankarine, because of disappearance of the false ego, drishta, the seer, nastavittaha, one who has lost his fortune, iva, like aturaha, distressed. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the living entity can vividly feel his existence as the seer. But because of the disappearance of the false ego, during the state of deep sleep, he falsely takes himself to be lost. Like a man who has lost his fortune and feels distressed, thinking himself to be lost. Purport. Only in ignorance does a living entity think that he is lost. If by attainment of knowledge he becomes the real position of his eternal existence, he knows that he is not lost. An appropriate example is mentioned herein, Nastavitta Ivaturaha. A person who has lost a great sum of money may think that he is lost, but actually he is not lost. Only his money is lost. But due to his absorption in the money or identification with the money, he thinks that he is lost. Similarly, when we falsely identify with matter as our field of activities, we think that we are lost, although actually we are not. As soon as a person is awakened to the pure knowledge of understanding that he is an eternal servitor of the Lord, his own real position is revived. A living entity can never be lost. When one forgets his identity in deep sleep, he becomes absorbed in dreams and he may think himself a different person or may think himself lost. But actually, his identity is intact. This concept of being lost is due to false ego, and it continues as long as one is not awakened to the sense of his existence as an eternal servitor of the Lord. The Mayavadi philosopher's concept of becoming one with the Supreme Lord is another symptom of being lost in false ego. One may falsely claim that he is the Supreme Lord, but actually he is not. That is the last snare of Maya's influence upon the living entity. To think oneself equal to the Supreme Lord or think oneself to be the Supreme Lord himself is also due to the false ego. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Devahuti is asking various questions to Kapiladeva. Kapiladeva explained many things, how this material manifestation happened. And in this chapter, he is explaining the understanding of the material nature. So why I need to understand this material nature and what is the relation between the living entity and the material nature and how to come out of this material nature. He gave all these things in this chapter. In the previous slokas, he's explained that the living entity is pure. The living entity is pure. But with the association of the material nature, it got contaminated. It got contaminated. And after contamination, and it is thinking like that, he is the doer of everything. Disappearance of the ego. So this false ego is very dangerous. With the association or with the contamination of this material nature, the living entity originally it has a pure consciousness, but with the contamination, the original ego got disappeared. What does it mean? What is original ego and what is false ego? The original ego is servant of the Supreme Lord. Gopi Bharata Kamala, your Pada Dasa Dasanu Dasa. The original identity is we are all servants of the Supreme Lord. But it got disappeared. And thinking like that falsely himself, he is everything. Because of that, everything is coming up. This false ego is very dangerous. This is the root cause of everything. This is the root cause of lust. This is the root cause of greedy. This is the root cause of envy. This is the root cause of everything. The minute you establish the original identity, then you can become perfect. You can easily liberate from this material nature. Attainment of knowledge, he becomes the real position of his eternal existence. So he lost. How can he revive? By attainment of the knowledge. Again, we can discuss different degrees of attainment of knowledge. Sometimes we all read Srimad Bhagavatam left and right many times. We'll all discuss many things. But in reality, sometimes we ignore the original position of Krishna. Why? Because we have knowledge, but we did not realize it, or we did not applying it. Having the knowledge is good, but application is very important. Without application, he will become a gnani. He will not become a bhakta, or he will not become a original position servator of Krishna. The application is very important. That application will come the deep study and the association and by following the pure devotee. Otherwise, application will never come. Getting the application is very important. That's why this knowledge is compared as a sword. You have the sword, but if you do not sharpen that sword is useless. It will become rust. You have the knowledge, but we are not applying it. If you sharpen it every day through our sadhana, then we will not lost this original position. So they gave some examples, 2 examples they gave. One is a sleeping person and one is losing the money. If anyone lost all his money for some reason, he will be so much depressed. I lost, I lost, I lost. But he did not lost himself. He lost only one of the property or one of the um, opulence that he has. So he is not lost. He is a living entity and he has the body and he can continue his journey. Falsely, he will think out of the attachment of that money. If he lost, he will think like that. Similarly, even this living entity with the false attachment with the body, if something happened to this body, then he will uh, get into a depression because of falsely attaching to this body. Suppose any sickness or anybody's died or anything is happening to this body, any discomfort it happened, then he will think so much and he will be stuck with the bodily concept of life. He will not uplift himself to the original position. With that, what will happen? He will think like that he is the body and he always engage himself how to gratify my senses or how to satisfy my body. That is false. The original is we are servitor of the Krishna and we need to always think how can I please the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna? But with the false identification, we are thinking like that we are this body. They gave another example. In the dream, we will take different avatars. We'll take different positions. Like we will become a great man, or we'll become a some scary things, or some great things will happen. When we are in the dream, sometimes we may get scared also. Oh, is it really happening to me? Is it really happening to me? But once we wake up, oh, no, it's not me. I'm good. Similarly, if you are in the bodily concept of life, with the attachment of this body, ahamta and mamata will be prominent, and we will be scared. Like the person who is in the dream, he's scared. He will scared with all this material nature, and he will try to satisfy his senses. False identification. So Kapiladeva in the further slokas is explaining how to come out of this false identification. He's explaining, I think, another 15-20 slokas. Tivra Bhakti. We have to do Tivra Bhakti, intensified devotion. See, our mind, whatever you redirect, that will be absorbed. If you redirect your mind towards bhakti, then you will be absorbed in the bhakti. If your mind is absorbed in material activities, you will feel like you are a materialistic person. So the redirection is the key factor. Redirection is a key factor. We are not stopping any of our activities. Just realize and redirect your activities in the Tivra Bhakti. And that is important. Not superficial Bhakti. Sometimes on busy days, we may do sometimes superficial Bhakti. Okay, my 16 malas are done. Okay, my 2 slokas of Srimad Bhagavatam is done. Oh, my Arati is done. That is not Tivra Bhakti. Tivra Bhakti, every minute, every second, we should feel I am the servant of the Lord. I do not have any relation with this material nature. And we need to follow all the rules and regulations that are given in the scriptures and take the spiritual master instruction very seriously and execute it. That is Tevra Bhakti. Yeah, with Tevra Bhakti, only we can uh, re-establish our original position. What is our original position? Eternal servitor of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada here again emphasizing about Mayavada philosophy. So we have to be very, very careful. Whoever is hearing Mayavada philosophy, their bhakti is lost. Mayavada Sunil is Sarvanasina Hoile. So his bhakti will be completely destroyed, whoever hear the Mayavadi. Why it will be destroyed? The Mayavada philosophy is you can become one with the Supreme Lord, or you can become the Supreme Lord also. There are few sects. Prabhupada quoted many times in his purports. In the New York, when he was here, there was some Mayavada sannyasis. They used to tell, I'll give one mantra, if you pay me $30, you can become a god. Prabhupada was scolding them. This rascal, how he can become a god? He doesn't have any single quality, or he doesn't know who is God, how he want to become a god. I'm not that kind of humbug mantra giver. I'll give a free Hare Krishna Mahamantra, come and practice and become a servant of the God. Prabhupada never accepted to uh, become the God or equal to the God. But in the Mayavada philosophy, they are thinking like that they are the God. Uh, that is the super false ego. Is falsely identifying himself as a God. And that is a very dangerous situation. So we should not think like that. First of all, we should not think we are the body or we are the enjoyer. And in the Mayavada philosophy, they are thinking like that. They are the God. That is the last snare of the Maya. Very wonderfully explained, Prabhupada. In another time, one time Jayapataksman Maharaj went to Puri, and he was talking with one Mayavada sannyasi, and he asked that Mayavadi is claiming that I am the God. And Maharaj asked, if you are God, why you are becoming old? Then Mayavadi told that, this is part of my Leela. What is part of your Leela? Everybody is doing that Leela. If you are God, you should never become old, or you should never become die. You should have a Satchidananda Vigraha, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Then why you are having this old and you are going to die, all these things? He couldn't answer. He is telling that my Leela. When Krishna came, even in Kurukshetra battle, at the age of 120 years, he is Vang. You never seen any Krishna picture with old beard or anything, because he is a supreme personality of God. So he is Nava Yavanamcha. If you are God, you need to exhibit all the qualities of the God. Are you exhibiting? No, you are exhibiting a lesser than the regular living entity. So we have to be very careful. If somebody says that I will make you God, you come and do this mantra. Are you also God? I am also God. Anybody can merge into the Brahma Jyoti, and they can take whatever the body that they want. All these things they will say. But that is very, very, very wrong understanding of the bhakti process. In the bhakti process, first of all, we need to establish the relationship, the eternal person, eternity, and eternal creation. So if you do not establish that relationship, then there is no meaning of following any bhakti process. So we have to be very careful. We are never be a God. If anybody claim that he is a God, Prabhupada says that he is reverse, not God. He is a DOG. So we are all servator of the Lord. We need to establish that one very clearly. Sometimes with the false ego, we do so many mistakes. With that, we will fall down again and again and suffer in this material nature. We have to be very careful. Always, every action should be in line with I am the servator of the Lord. Same thing happened with Indra. One time, Indra was sitting in the assembly with his wife Sachi Devi, and all the devatas are glorifying him. You are great, you are this, you are that. The Indra got puffed up. With his pufferness, he was so overwhelmed. And at the same time, his spiritual master Brahaspati came. And with his pufferness, he forgot or he didn't even pay attention to the Brahaspati. If spiritual master comes, what we need to do? We need to immediately get up and offer complete Dandavat Pranam obeisances and invite him and arrange asan and arrange all the facilities, whatever is required. That is the proper etiquette of a Vaishnava. But Indra, with his false ego, he puffed up so much and he's thinking like that he is himself, he's the body and he got puffed up. He's not realizing that he is a servant of the Lord, and just because of a little bit ability the Lord gave, that's why he was having all those good qualities. He's not realizing that fact. Sometimes we are also think in the same direction. If you get little bit success, either materially or spiritually, we will get puffed up. We will forget the basic principles. So Indra forgot that. And then Brahaspati got so much anger. He left that place and he disappeared. And after some time, Indra realized that. I insulted my spiritual master, and he was looking for his spiritual master. He couldn't find. And because there is no proper direction from his spiritual master, Indra's power slowly deteriorating. He became weak, and slowly demons started attacking Indra and all devatas. Demons realized and they were taking instructions from his Guru Sukracharya, and then they will start attacking Indra and all the devatas. And Indra got bewildered. We are also like that. If you do not take a spiritual master instruction seriously, we will all become fall down. There is no doubt about that. We should always meditate spiritual master. Then only we will get power and enthusiasm to practice Krishna consciousness. We should never ever ignore the spiritual master instructions, or we should never ever ignore the spiritual master. Always try to take association of spiritual master as much as we can. So then Indra got bewildered without spiritual master, and he went and take shelter of Brahma. Brahma gave instruction, go and take instruction from Iswarupa. He will guide you. And then Indra went to the Vishwarupa. He discussed his problem and he gave a guidance, and he composed a Narayana Kavacha. And with that, again, Indra regained his powers and he was able to attack the demons. So we have to be very, very careful. This false ego is dangerous thing. Very, very dangerous thing. The false ego is root cause of everything. Whatever we are getting, the false ego, the lust, greed, anger, envy, all the six enemies are there, right? All those enemies are the uh, because of false ego. The minute you correct the false ego, everything will disappear. You will not have any lusty desires because you are the servant of Krishna and your job is to serve Krishna. uh, you will not worry about much your sense gratification, and you will not be greedy because this whole world is Krishna's creation. Just whatever you have, engage into the Krishna service, and you will not have envy. Everybody is the part and parcel of Krishna. There is no point of becoming envy. Everybody has their own abilities. So like that, all other six enemies will disappear if you are able to remember every minute, every second. I'm not this. I'm not this body. I'm not the real enjoyer, or I'm not supposed to be the engaged in sense gratification. My real position is I'm the servant of the Krishna. If you are able to establish this philosophy, will become a successful devotee. The similar thing will happen with the Ravana's situation also. Ravana also got puffed up so much with his false ego. He thought like that he can conquer anyone, and he meditated 10,000 years to get a boon of eternity, or boon of deathless. And after 10,000 years of meditation, Brahma appeared. What do you want? Then he requested, I should not get death from any devatas, Gandharvas, all great personalities. With his false ego, he forgot to ask, I should not get death from human beings and animals. He thought like that, I can easily conquer them. They don't touch me. But at the end, he lost his life in the hands of Vanaras, the monkeys, and the humanly form of Ramachandra. So the takeaway points are, whatever the little abilities that we got with the mercy of the Supreme Lord, with that we should not get puffed up, or with that we should not think like that false ego, I am the doer or I am everything. And we should re-establish the last position, the servitor of the Supreme Lord, and always remember this point every minute, every second in our lives, so that we can practice that Tivrena Bhakti and slowly go back to Godhead for the liberation. Thank you very much. Over to Madhupati Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Madhupati Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you very much for joining this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam discussion this morning. We wish you a very happy Krishna consciousness a day ahead. Today is Valentine's Day. We have a special class in the temple in the evening. So please be part of it. And tomorrow is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. Advaita Acharya is the personified compassion of personified. So with his compassion only, we all get this bhakti. So please plan to come these events to the temple. And we will pray Lord Narasimhadeva for his protection to practice our Krishna consciousness without any obstacles. Ugram Veeram Mahavishram Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityor Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishram Jvalantam Sarvatomukam नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्नमाम्यहम्. Will offer our obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We'll wind up the class by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru.
Thank you,
Hare
Guru.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Guru.
you,
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol.
Thank you,
Hare
everyone. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
everybody. Hari Bol.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.